How to get sales today? It's quite different that we knew for a long time. If you use just old book of ASEO, because many things are changing fast. We have Geo, AEO, many other abbreviations. So someone can say no, it's still ASEO. Some experts can say no, it's Geo. I'm in the middle. I don't know exactly, but of course, I think we need to adapt. It doesn't matter, believe you or not, you need to adapt, you need to think how to win in this new environment. I'm so excited to discuss a lot more with Ian Lurie. How are you?
Good. How are you, Anatoly?
Yeah, doing great, doing great. Looking forward to learn more. I found, I like this quote from Socrates when he said, "The more I learn, the more I understand that I know nothing." Like so,
Yes.
in Asia, the same. I remember when I had a few conversations with my customers, and someone asked, "Can you teach me SEO? Please, just let me know.
Just
Teach me."
real quick. Just take a few minutes. Yeah.
No, no, no. I think like it's the same to teach about any other niche, English, French, I don't know. Uh, any niche. It doesn't matter. Data sciences. You need to spend your time. You need to make your hands dirty, and it's better to focus because if someone can wanna do SEO themselves, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Nothing bad with that. But it's really tough to get real great results. It's better to cooperate with consultants who can lead you in the right direction and cooperate with others. Ian, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Sure. So I am a digital marketing consultant. I've been in the SEO and digital world for 31 years.
Wow.
I know, right? There's no way I look that old. It's impossible. I started an agency called Portent in 1995 and sold it in 2017. And since 2019, I've been out on my own as a consultant. I help clients with all earned media. So, sure, AI engine discoverability, SEO, social media, PR, content analytics, the whole range. And then I also teach part time at the University of Washington. I teach digital marketing there. So,
That's nice. That's nice. So I have the main question. Over 2 decades, it's a lot. How you didn't burn out? I know some people can say digital marketing, SEO are boring. For me, it's not boring. If it's boring for you, just leave it. Find something else. So tell about your experience.
it is not boring. I mean, that's the first thing, right? When I started in 1995, we were literally helping people use America Online, which I'll bet half this audience doesn't even know what I'm talking about. We were helping them use America Online to distribute PDFs of their marketing materials to their sales team in the field. That was where we started, right? And now we're using AI agents to sift through the same material and generate personalized marketing information content for their audience. I mean, things have changed so much. The other thing is my job changed over the years, right? I was an individual practitioner in 1995. Then I became, slowly worked my way into being a CEO, where I was spending most of my time as a teacher, right, teaching my team, trying to stay up to date on things, and now I'm back to being an individual consultant. So the job changes all the time, right, and the subject matter changes at an incredible rate. I mean, digital now does not look a lot like digital 31 years ago. So it never gets boring. I think eventually maybe I'll hit the point where I'm just tired of trying to keep up, but that has not been an issue so far.
Yeah, nice, nice. Can you tell what was more popular, Yellow Pages or ASIO when you started?
Definitely the yellow pages. There was no such thing as SEO, not
Yeah.
really. I was messing around with helping clients show up in Alta Vista and in Excite and things like that, in the late 90s, but those were not significant drivers of business.
Yeah.
So it was still very much about targeted print advertising, really exceptional writing in that print advertising. And you're just starting to see people building websites, not just because they felt like they needed to have a website, but because they were starting to understand that there was a genuine marketing value there. But for the most part, it was still yellow pages. If you ever see a business that starts with three, it's like triple A plumbing or quadruple A plumbing. There's a bunch of A's at the beginning. That was the first algorithmic hack, right? Because if your name started with three A's and everybody else's name started with one or two A's, then you would show up first in the yellow pages. That was how important the yellow pages were, 30, 40 years ago. Now I sound really old, but
Yeah,
it was
that's
an
right.
interesting shift that happened.
Yeah. I have the question about finding the right content plan. Let me clarify more about that. I mean, like, I see when webmasters, when they check out Ahrefs, SEMrush, many other popular tools, Google Keyword Planner, they see a huge list of keywords, a lot of keywords. And I made a study, we analyzed which metrics are the most popular, and volume can beat all other metrics. For me, it's the most confusing metric ever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to hide volume from my customers because
Yeah.
when they see million, they can think, wow, a lot of traffic, a lot of sales. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So it's the most confusing. And um, from 20 countries that we analyzed, only in China, volume was not the most popular. Probably in China, they have some symbols. It's tough to measure the
Yeah.
volume. But can you tell your methods, how to pay attention to the bottom of funnel? How to, yeah.
So if any clients see this, they're probably going to just fire me immediately. But to me, volume is the worst possible keyword metric. In fact, keywords are not a great target, but volume is a terrible keyword metric because volume tells you nothing about audience intent and audience needs and what's really going to compel your customers. Sure, I mean, obviously getting 1,000 people on your website who are interested customers is better than getting 10. But me looking at a keyword and seeing that there are 1 million searches a month for that keyword, that's not valuable information. That doesn't tell me that if I rank number one, I'm going to get 100,000 valuable customers. It means I'm going to get maybe 100,000 people who come to my website for 5 seconds. So the things I look at, I look very carefully at what my customers and my users are asking for. If my client's a brand new business and they have no idea, then I'm going to do a lot of research. I mean, I guess I'm going to do a lot of research anyway, but I'm going to do a lot of digging into the intent behind a keyword and also the questions that are being asked. I spend a lot of time and have for a long time spend a lot of time on Reddit, a lot of time on Amazon, looking at the questions people ask about related products or that people ask about books on related topics. I spend some time on Quora. That's become a little spammy, so not as much as I used to. Any place I can see conversations going on around a client's product or a competing product or a topic or, for a political candidate, what are the discussions going on? I'm always going to be looking at that before I look at keywords and volume.
Yeah, yeah. And the last time, even before ChatGPT, I found that many experts can use topical research more than even keywords.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Even today, what we can see that many people can change behavior to ask real long questions instead of keywords because Google Gemini, AI mode, AI overview can reply to these questions fully. So, what do you think about paying attention to topical research instead of keywords?
Well, the thing is that when a user searches for a keyword, they actually have a question, right? If I search for road racing bicycle tires, that is not what's in my mind, right? What's in my mind is I need a particular kind of road cycling bicycle tire and I need a certain set of properties. And, I have questions about whether it'll hold up in Seattle's not so great streets with all the potholes and the glass. I have specific questions in my mind. So, topical has worked better than individual keywords probably for about 15 years, right? That's about when Google started really refining their algorithm and improving their ability to analyze entire thoughts or concepts that surround a term, right? That's when they started really doing good vector space analysis and understanding the keywords and phrases that are associated with other keywords and phrases. So at least 15, maybe even 20 years ago is when, topical research and understanding a topic space has become at least as important as understanding individual keywords and volumes.
Yeah, yeah. Ian, I want to ask about creating content by using AI. Basically, let me clarify more what I'm looking for. So, the last time I had a few conversations with some customers who learn information that AI is terrible, AI can't create great content, it's impossible to do with AI. And when I started to learn the resources of this information, so some experts can teach that, some AI detectors can explain that it's terrible, and especially many articles said about that when ChatGPT was released. The version 3.5, I remember, that was real low quality,
Mhm.
hallucinations, many things. But today we have ChatGPT 5.2, we have Gemini 3.0, Claude 4.5, real great updates. And I spoke with many big experts who say to me that AI can write much better than them. I can admit the same because I can't write in thousand styles. I love writing. I keep writing every single day. But how I can beat AI if AI can write in thousand different styles, if not millions? So and honestly, I have much better results with AI generated content, much better results. I use this, and but I keep cooperating with experts. I know, for example, if I promote finance niche, I need to find people who can create great content about finance. But I usually search for people with real experience, with proven record, who can show, okay, look at, I ranked this content, I got great results, so I can analyze and check out. Okay, that's cool. So let's cooperate. And I don't care if they use AI, don't use AI, because for me, people who can write manually, it doesn't mean that can write quality. So some people can write some useless nonsense and just generic content, nothing special. So for me, I mean, like if you use AI in the right way to ask the right prompts and edit results, you can get great results. So what do you think about that?
So what I would say is crap, no matter who creates it and how. So you can create terrible content with AI, and most people do. And I'm not saying that to say, oh, you're terrible if you're using AI to create content. I'm saying AI is a tool, and you need to learn how to use it. If you're going to use AI to create content from scratch and generate sort of final product that you're going to publish, you have to be very careful about three things. First, you've got to make sure it's right, just that it's factually correct. And that's where you were talking about going and finding experts. That's essential, right? You have to check your work. Otherwise, you will get completely incorrect answers. I still see AI do that all the time. Second, you have to produce something that's better than average. And this is the biggest problem with AI, in my opinion, is because it's most of it is probabilistic. It's taking the average of all the stuff that's out there, which is pretty brilliant. I mean, when you think about the technology to do this, it's really cool, but it's still only average. And if all we're doing is producing the average, then there's no reason for customers to come to us instead of someone else. And then the third thing is you have to make sure you are actually answering new questions. And this is part of the average problem, but you have to answer questions other people aren't asking. And sorry, you have to answer questions that other people aren't answering. It's
Mhm.
8:15 in the morning my time, and I've only just had my first dose of caffeine. So if I babble a little, everybody, please forgive me. Um, but you do have to really focus on being better than average, right? Being much better than average. And it is still difficult to be exceptional if you're using AI. I tend to use AI for briefs, right? For content briefs. I use it as an editor. Like anyone out there who's ever used Grammarly for anything has already used some form of AI as an editor. And then sometimes I'll use it to generate content, but only if I know I'm going to do a lot of editing. But for me, it's about the value generated. Like if we get to the point where AI can generate truly valuable, far above average, truly helpful content that answers original questions in ways customers find very compelling, I will start using it more to create content. Just for me personally, it's not quite there yet. So I don't have any strong judgment against it. I just want to make sure that I'm creating stuff that's going to be worth my readers' time to consume, right? Because we need to give them a good return on the time that they invest in coming to our site or reading our social posts or just engaging with us in any way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. I agree with that. So basically, I mean, like, it depends on how you can manage this tool. So
Right.
if you can, I mean, like that is why I remember when I cooperated with big accounting company. They have real great experience, plus 20 years of experience in accounting. They served Fortune 500 companies, real big names, results, but they didn't have experience to create content. So they know everything about accounting,
Right.
calculation, but without even, I don't know, one experience to write an article. Nothing, just nothing. And when I asked them, we need to create great content, they started to ask on ChatGPT and just generated some useless, non-readable stuff. So basically, I mean, like they shared value, but that was boring, non-interested, without structure, without readability,
It
and
was
most,
average.
yeah, most people are impatient, so you need to win them. You have only a few seconds to win customers' attention. You need to write like to provoke curiosity to consume until then. So, and the second thing what I can see when people use ChatGPT and they don't know specific topic. For example, if you ask me to write anything good about weight loss, about finance, I can't. But I can do it about SEO because I work every single day. I can fit AI with the right data. I can research myself. I can write some bad content, ask about it. Yeah, go ahead.
That's so okay. That's a great point. And one individual tip I can give to everybody that will it'll up your content game like 1,000. You're talking about this accounting firm that has all this expertise, but they probably didn't have time. Like their best experts don't have time to go create content. So instead, what I've had some clients do is I ask them to just interview one of their top experts for 15 minutes. Just ask them some questions, let them just talk about a topic, and then take that transcript, give that to AI, right? So you're giving the AI unique knowledge, and you have the AI then turn that into something useful, which you then edit and review and put into the right voice and tone. And then you have something really useful. So you're taking information that the AI does not have, right? It's the expertise of your team and your people, but instead of trying to force people who don't want to write or don't feel that they're good writers, because I think everyone is a good writer in one way or another, but don't feel like they have the time or the energy or the skill to do the writing, just get them to talk about the subject.
Yeah.
And then what AI can help us do now that we weren't able to do before, the really time consuming part, was turning all those notes into something cogent that I can then edit and turn into something really, really compelling.
That's nice, nice. Ian, I have my final question, very important question, but we can repeat this podcast many times, because I'm pretty sure that you can share a lot of valuable bombs. But I had a call from my son, very emergent call.
Oh,
So
oh no.
yeah,
Okay.
but I still have one. I want to ask this question, very important. Can you tell about your methods of teaching your students or consulting others? Because what I can see when people overlearn, they then they don't spend enough time with implementation, execution. Because for me, this is the most important. For example, when I use ChatGPT, Google, when I create websites, sometimes I even don't know this theory. Often I don't know this theory. I love practice. I love testing, failing many times. I can fail like 1,000 times. I keep doing this. But for me, the most important implementation, execution. So can you tell your methods how to lead people in the right direction?
So most of my students are people in MBA programs and business programs where I know they're not going to really become digital marketers, right? They need to do good digital marketing for their companies. So a lot of what I try to do is just teach them how to know good from bad practice. So I give them very general, not very general, but general guidelines, right? Just getting them away from talking about keyword volume, for example, right? Giving them simple rules for, is this something your customer really wants an answer to? Are you generating content that is really truly useful to your audience? Is your site fast enough? Is it usable? I try to get them to the point where when they're working with a digital marketer or an agency, they can tell good from bad. That's what I spend a lot of my time on. When I worked with a large team, that was when we would get very much into the details, right? Specifically how you do a thing, because I was working with them every day, day after day for, a period of months or years. That's when you get the opportunity to really dive into individual best practices.
Nice, nice. Love it, love it. Ian, thanks a lot for taking part on this podcast, for sharing these valuable bombs. I hope we can repeat it again, so to spend more
Sure.
time on that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Ian Lurie. I have a website at ianlurie.com. Those are the two easiest ways to get in touch.
Okay, guys, you can find the links in the description below. Thanks a lot for listening, for
Okay.
watching us, and thanks a lot for taking this part, for sharing these valuable bombs. And yeah, let's repeat it again. Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
I hope everything's okay with your son. I'll talk to you soon.